Your morale is very important. Comrades, are you ready to go and fight? By that I mean politically, comrades. Are you ready to win elections? Are you ready to win everywhere, ANC? Are you ready to win in KZN? Are you ready to win in Free State? Are you ready to win in Mpumalanga? Are you ready to win in Limpopo? Are you ready to win in the Northwest? Are you ready to win in the Northern Cape? Are you ready to win in the Western Cape? Are you ready to win here in Gauteng? Yes. So comrades, what we are going to do now, I think you are on top form. We are going to stand up and sing the national anthem. As you know, all the men, just make sure you have cleared your head. Clear your head. So we are going to sing the national anthem. We will be led in that regard.
Nkosi sikeleli Afrika, malubalisu pondolwayo, Israeli tandazo yetu. Nkosi sikelela thina lusapolwayo, morena bulu sichaba sayesu, ufedise intwali lotwe nyewo, ibuluke sibuluke sichabasa, Yesu sichabasa, South Africa, South Africa. Eighty blow by Monseigneur, eighty deep deva Monsier, sounds and call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, comrades. We may remain seated. The first thing I would like to do, comrades, is to Zuma in our midst. The President will have an opportunity to address us tonight. I would also like us to welcome all members of the National Executive Committee in our midst. I would like to welcome the Provincial Chairperson in our midst. I would like to welcome members of the PGC in our midst. I also would like to welcome the veterans who are here with us. The veterans, that includes Anne-Sophie is also sitting here. Anne-Sophie is with us as well. And our veterans in the province, the leadership of the veterans in the province. I would like to welcome the President of the Youth League, who is in our midst. And I would like to welcome all of you, the delegates. The delegates, we welcome you, comrades, the delegates. We welcome all of you. The delegates from our branches, from our leagues, from MKMVA, you are welcome. What I want to explain is what we are going to do tonight. We know many of you still have to get your accreditation. That process will continue tonight. But this session this evening is to do two things only. The first thing is there will be an address by our provincial chairperson, who will immediately after his address bring the president to come and give us a keynote address. So that's all we are doing tonight, is the chairperson's political address and the president's keynote address. After that, those of you who have not completed the accreditation process, particularly those who don't have your cards because the process was a bit slow, we urge you to go back and complete the process. Tomorrow we are going to be much more tight. We suspended the accreditation so we can finalize that, because tomorrow morning when we start only with the delegates who are supposed to be at the PGC. So without your accreditation cards tomorrow, you won't be able to come into the hall here. So tomorrow we need only the delegates. You will also get the program, which we will explain at the end what time we are starting. And after the president's address, we will break. Those who need to eat will do that. We will have dinner just next door. And we are ready for tomorrow. So from where we stand on behalf of the PGC, I would like to say that if you have come here with some doubt about the ANC's readiness to take over this province, and everywhere, I'm saying everywhere, leave nothing, because we know there's a Gauteng province is suddenly a playground of everybody. They're going up and down, and then suddenly this and that. So anyone who's got doubt, when we leave here on Sunday, NEC members, Comrade President, I want to assure you, the chairperson will also say something more substantive about our campaign. When we leave here on Sunday, the list process issues that we have had and so on, and we go to the ground, door to door. We are going to be engaging our people. We are going to be speaking with one voice when we leave here on Sunday. So that's what it's clear to me. That's what we are coming here for. We're coming here so that when we live here, the ANC will be everywhere, as we used to say, that the ANC is everywhere. So on that note, I would like to call upon the provincial chairperson to come and give his political address. Pata. Pata ANC Pata. Deka Nkwaso ANC Deka Nkwaso. Deka Nkwaso ANC Deka Nkwaso. Viva President Jacob Zuma, viva! Viva President Jacob Zuma, viva! All power! All power! Comrades, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Program Director, Comrade David Makura, President of the ANC, Comrade Jacob Zuma, PEC members here present, NEC employees here present, veterans of our struggle here present, leadership of the Alliance, leadership of the leagues, the ANC Youth League, ANC Women's League, and the Veterans League, delegates from the zones and the branches, members of the media, our friends. Viva the media, viva! Comrades and compatriots, allow me firstly to express on behalf of the leadership of the ANC in Gauteng and the membership our gratitude to our President for having made time, given his busy schedule and taxing schedule, to be with us today as we share some thoughts regarding the challenges facing our movement and our country. Comrade President, we are honored by your presence. We appreciate your being here, as this will provide you with an opportunity to better comprehend the issues we face on a daily basis in Gauteng. Your attendance is also important because when we in Gauteng pronounce on some issues, we are wrongly perceived to be anti-Zuma. As the leadership of the ANC in Gauteng would like to be categorical that we are not against the President of the ANC. But, Comrade President, we always deal with issues on the basis of principle. For that matter, we discuss issues openly without fear or favor. And when we deal with difficult matters, when difficult matters come to the fore, we do not bury our heads in the sand. Instead, we confront them head-on. This constitutes the distinguishing feature of our province. Comrade delegates, we are particularly pleased in Gauteng that the extended National Working Committee meeting has allowed us, all our structures and civil society, to discuss difficult issues facing our movement, including the recent Constitutional Court judgment of the 31st of March 2016. I want to particularly commend the PEC and our branches in the manner in which they handled this matter. The PEC accepted the apology of the President, but went further to say that the President must reflect on the matter and do the right thing. However, the PEC has also allowed branches to discuss the matter and express their own views. During the course of the PGC, Comrade delegates, you will be given an opportunity to express your views so that we can bring this matter to finality once and for all. This will ensure that our members do not rely on what is said in the media
sometimes. Our strength, comrades, in Gauteng is that we always, as I said, discuss matters in a frank and open manner. Please be free to differ with the PGC if you want to. We confront these issues. We have no hidden agendas. We are guided at all times by the commitment to serve our people. I therefore urge you, comrade delegates, that we spend this weekend focusing on what we have done right, as well as the problems and challenges that our people are facing, rather than wasting time with our own internal squabbles. In the 22 years of our democracy, we have achieved a lot in terms of access to services that were denied the majority of our people for many years. Many of our people out there still do not have access to adequate electricity, clean water, sanitation, and decent shelter. There are many in our communities who are looking for decent jobs, particularly young people. We have done a lot to alleviate the plight of our people. One of the leaders of the Youth League was saying to me, Comrade Chair, I hope you won't forget 40%. So I realized that I'm in trouble, so I then said, I think it will be in the PS's report. So, Comrade PS, be ready, the youth want 40%. Comrade delegates, although we have built many clinics and hospitals, we do, however, acknowledge that much more still needs to be done. All our children must have access to quality education and acquire proper skills. It is unacceptable that they have to enjoy their schools and other services burned to the ground by anarchist forces. Comrades, together we are building new post-apartheid cities and will bring economic and other opportunities closer to where our people live. Hence, we will not allow a situation where the ANC is dislodged from the leadership of our municipalities. Through our Interesano program, we continue to remain in touch with our people, listen to their concerns, and respond accordingly. Comrade delegates, the slow growth of our economy remains a worrying challenge as it impacts on the quality of our people's lives. However, in Gauteng, our transformation, modernization and reindustrialization program, the TMR, is on course, and we are accelerating social infrastructure investment to stimulate growth. Every effort should be taken to shore up our economy. Hence, we commend the efforts of the national government, led by the President, in partnership with labor and business, taking steps to stimulate the economy. It is a collective and collaborative effort that will ensure our success, to ensure that success and the decision by Moody's not to further downgrade our country is warmly welcomed as a result of this partnership and working together between government, business and labor. Especially the Gauteng provincial government is very strong and is working with municipalities to change the life of our people for the better. And our municipalities as well are very strong. I know that there may be difficulties, one or two, but generally our municipalities are doing very well. Let me take this opportunity at this stage to congratulate the Executive Mayor of Johannesburg, Comrade Pakstow, and his team in receiving an upgrade from Moody's Investor Service. the global scale ratings and national scale ratings for the city of Johannesburg. By the way, this follows their recent upgrade by Fitch rating agency recent. I don't know, not long. Yeah, not long ago. But Comrade Monty was complaining that Comrade Monty was complaining when I was congratulating Parks earlier that Ekurhuleni is ikhona nayo. Viva Ekurhuleni, viva! Viva Ekurhuleni, viva! Comrade delegates, these are issues that we must focus on this weekend. Let our people know wherever they are that we care about them. Let them know that we listen and respond when they cry out for help. We take great pride in that the ANC government continues to grow the black middle class through our aggressive interventions to ensure equality. Let us continue to find solutions to the problem of e-tolls, since our people continue to complain about affordability. It is also important that our people know that the ANC respects the Constitution and other laws of the Republic. Let us remind our people that we are the crafters of this democratic Constitution, and that we, and not the opposition, will defend it at all times. It is, after all, an embodiment of the ideals of the Freedom Charter. As we deal with some difficult challenges and challenging issues, let us draw strength from the words of former President Comrade O.R. Tambo when he addressed the ANC 48th National Conference in Durban in July in 1991. He said the following, and I quote, "Even as we provide leadership, we were always conscious of the fact that the ANC was the people's parliament. The widespread circulation of constitutional guidelines was a further assertion of the sovereignty of the people. The unity in action of our people has remained a guiding beacon throughout the days of illegality. To reach our goal of a united, democratic, non-racial and non-sexist South Africa sooner rather than later, then we must not deviate from this course." President Tambo went further to say, "In this context, we considered it important that decisions of the ANC were to be shaped by popular mass endorsement at all times. Even if such decisions were acceptable within the movement, they would have come to naught unless they enjoyed popular support beyond the bounds of the ANC itself. Whilst our policies were in terms of our beliefs and convictions, they also reflected and served the people's interests. Above all, we sought to make the people part and parcel of our decisions." Close quote. Comrade delegates, as we engage in our discussions this weekend, let us be guided by these wise words of President Tambo. Long live the spirit of O.R. Tambo, long live. Long live. Long live the spirit of O.R. Tambo, long live. Long live. Comrade delegates, let me now come to the immediate battle ahead of us, the election campaign. In Gauteng, all the election structures are in place. Mhlawumbe ungeza ukuthi uyabilayela ibranchini yakho. So I don't want the president to get the wrong impression. All the election structures are in place. Bakhona abangekho ready. Asiboneni izandla. Okay. So my report is correct. our election machinery is well oiled. On the 4th of June, we will have our provincial launch of the ANC manifesto at the FNB Stadium. Where's Comrade Nomvula? Rekhalimela Linyatso. Yini ngathi niyayisaba le nto. Niyabasaba na? Comrade Max, Rekhalimela Linyatso. The stadium must be full by 10 o'clock. We don't want to hear stories, hey, the coordinators of the buses. So, comrades, I'm making commitment in front of the leadership. And it's a provincial rally, not national. It's provincial. Provincial rally. So, Siange, when I said this earlier to the president, he said, hey, it's serious, lad. So, I'm putting my neck on the block. Siange. Comrade delegates, we are going into battle. There is no turning back. From the launch of the manifesto, we go door to door. We ensure that we reach out to all the voters. We will utilize all communication platforms at our disposal, social media, websites, everything, including traditional media, to reach out to our people. Hopefully, the media people here will carry our message. That's why we allow you in our meetings. We trust you. We want our message to reach out to the people. Our aim is to win all municipalities in Gauteng, including Midland. We must defend our base and ensure that our people renew our mandate. As we approach these elections, we do so with renewed confidence, based on the knowledge that not only our track record of consistent service delivery for the past 22 years, but also our day-to-day work in communities will stand up in good stead. Without any fear of contradiction, I can say today we are closer to the dream of creating a better life for all our people compared to yesterday, and tomorrow will even be better. We have definitely changed the lives of many of our people for the better, even though we know that in some areas much still needs to be done to achieve our dream. All these achievements notwithstanding, we need to ensure that we do not become complacent. Rather, we should work doubly hard to cement our relationships with our people. We must entrench trust between them and ourselves and take the mandate they have and continue to bestow on us very seriously. Let's not take our people for granted. We have to go back to basics. Ensure that our cities and towns are clean, our roads are in good conditions, clean water and electricity are available and accessible to the people. These are the basics, but important things that directly touches on the lives of the majority of our people. Doing this right and consistently places us on a better footing to mount a successful election campaign. The time for rhetoric and polemics has gone past. What will guarantee victory in the election going forward in the main is what we will be doing with our people consistently. Being consistently in touch, together developing our communities. In another way, we will ensure that we move to victory with them. Comrade delegates, I'm aware that we have been hard at work in branches and communities, mobilizing people to register. We have contributed to the IEC exceeding its target of reaching out to new unregistered voters, especially young people. In Gauteng alone, registered voters are now sitting at more than 6 million people. And half of them are young people. We know that you have also in the branches and regions conducted credible nominations processes that culminated in some provinces in regional list conferences. I wish to commend you on the brilliant work in ensuring that these processes are not utilized to divide us and fragment us. Currently, our regions, except for Ekurhuleni and Tshwane, are done with their regional conferences. Ekurhuleni and Tshwane will be done next Wednesday. Once all the regions are done with list conferences, we'll then commence with the process of nomination of executive mayors. Given the success of the nomination process in our province, allow me also to congratulate all those who held BGMs and conducted nomination of candidates in line with guidelines. This significant milestone goes a long way in ensuring that our list is populated with candidates that are credible and supported by communities. Once again, congratulations, comrades, and keep it up. Let the spirit of unity and cohesion be carried through into the future, as only disciplined, fair, and credible contestations engender the unity and cohesion of the ANC, whilst leaving our opponents green in envy. We also have a delivery track record, and our opponents can only dream of. However, we are disappointed by the isolated cases of ill discipline, where those masquerading as our members disrupt some BGMs. We are particularly concerned by the misdemeanors of a handful of our members, places like Hammanskraal, where people resorted to violence that led to a BGM being abandoned and a protector of an MMC being shot, whilst other members were injured. We condemn this strongly. It is also extremely unacceptable, comrades, that a school was also touched in this process. Please stop burning people's properties. We, the disciplined members of the ANC in those communities, we must take a lead to ensure that these things don't happen. And they can't happen in our name. We do wish those injured speedy recovery, but we must, as this PGC, condemn strongly this act of criminality. And in those regions where these things happen, we urge the RECs, please take strong action against the perpetrators. No amount of ill discipline should be tolerated within our ranks. And there must be consequences for wrongdoing, because we want to build a strong, vibrant, and united organization. No one must be allowed to use force to advance his or her chances of being nominated a councillor. We are a democratic organization, and only the will of members must prevail. Comrade delegates, we publicly committed ourselves to winning all municipalities, so let's ensure that here in Gauteng we do exactly that. As we approach the elections, we need to humble ourselves, accept our mistakes and shortcomings, while taking steps to rectify them. We must also desist from provocative acts and refuse to be provoked. We know that during the campaign there will be some who will provoke us. Let us not allow to be provoked, because we know what happens. The next thing, they provoke us and they run to the IEC to complain that there's something. So let's not be tempted. Let's remain disciplined and focused and work according to the code of conduct of the IEC. As I go towards concluding, I want to once more say to you all comrades that whilst paying special attention to the upcoming local government elections, we should also utilize the next few days to also look at other organizational matters, so as to ensure that the ANC continues to be a leader of society and a vehicle for change. In the report of the Provincial Secretary, he will deal with those other organizational matters. The attainment of our people's aspiration cannot be postponed any further. Hence, the ANC should mobilize the entire society, including government it leads, to do everything within their power to bring the vision of a better life to all our people closer to fruition. Anything but success or victory will be catastrophic. Comrade delegates, as I conclude, let me once again recall the wise words of former President Oliver Tambo when he closed the Durban Conference in 1991. And he said the following: "Before I sit down, I wish to make a few observations. We did not tear ourselves apart because of lack of progress at times. We were always ready to accept our mistakes and correct them. Above all, we succeeded to foster and defend the unity of the ANC and the unity of our people in general. Even in bleak moments, we were never in doubt that the people's cause shall triumph." Close quote. That's Comrade Anthem. As I sit down, I'm never in doubt that the ANC shall emerge victorious on the 3rd of August this year. I'm confident that the ANC will remain the parliament of the people. Comrade President, once again, a warm welcome to Gauteng. Be rest assured that the ANC in Gauteng remains strong, focused, and is in good hands. Asina Mona, Asina Zondo, I do miss ANC. Comrade delegates to the battlefront, I now take this opportunity to invite to the podium President of the ANC, Comrade Jacob Zuma to give us
Thank you very much, comrades, and thank you very much indeed, Chairperson of the province, for a very important challenge to fill the stadium called FNB. That is the best challenge you've put to us. We must fill it as a province. As a province. Thank you very much for that bold decision of the PGC. Elections are not a small matter. They are a serious matter. And that will indicate how serious Gauteng is. I must also express what I often express about Gauteng. Gauteng is very important to the ANC. More important than many provinces. And it's not just now, because we now have a province called Gauteng. It has always been, even when it was called Transvaal. Not just because of its size then, but because Gauteng is a host to the headquarters of the African National Congress. But also, Gauteng is a gateway into South Africa, because that's where Johannesburg is, the international city. It is therefore the face of the ANC, the face of the country. And therefore, you cannot have Gauteng being not prominent in the form of the ruling party. The ruling party here must be more vibrant than anywhere else. So I'm happy that Gauteng is taking its own decision to fill up FNB. Without inviting neighbors on his own. Wonderful. Even if Chair who had not invited me, I was going to invite myself. Thank you very much, members of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, the chairperson of the province, and the leadership of the province of the ANC, the alliance partners, the Women's League of the province and nationally, as well as the youth, national and provincial. Thank you for the opportunity. The former president of the ANC, one of the very prominent in many ways, A.P. Zuma, addressing the ANC National Conference of December 1941, outlined everything succinctly, the vision of the founding leaders of the ANC. He said, and I quote, "In the founding of the African National Congress in 1912, African leaders of that day displayed a great vision and laid a broad and deep foundation upon which to build the superstructure for African freedom and liberty in the land of their forefathers. They proclaimed through the organization they set up and the efforts they made that only through unity and concerted action of all leaders from our various races and classes may we hope to achieve our freedom and obtain justice and a fair play in South Africa. They made sacrifices and suffered privations in the cause of African freedom. Some went to jail and became unpopular with power and influence, but remained loyal and true to the cause of their people. Thus, they were the architects of our salvation. Thus, they pointed the way for us. They showed that freedom is precious and a heavy price must be paid to obtain it. Unquote. That is Dr. Zuma, one of the presidents of the ANC. Indeed, comrades, freedom is precious. We must never lose sight of that fact. In building such a South Africa, the ANC needs to be united and focused. Very important. Well, there is no other entity or organization can take South Africa forward. If we don't know that, then we are committing the biggest mistake as the ANC. That is the task of the ANC to fulfill. Firstly, to understand freedom, not in generalities, in specific terms. sounds like a cliche, because we say it all the time. Freedom, freedom. At times one wonders whether we understand what freedom is and what have we to sacrifice ourselves for freedom. But it is a fact. It is a fact. Freedom is a serious and important thing, but we need to understand it. Because it can be serious, but if you don't understand it, then you're in serious trouble. For us to achieve freedom fully, and I will say something about whether our freedom is full or not. Because at times we relax because we think we've arrived, and yet we have not yet arrived. If we understand freedom truly and correctly and honestly, then there are few things we need to understand. That for the ANC to achieve complete freedom, it has to adhere to some few things. One of it is unity. Unity is what those founders of the ANC in 1912 talked about as a critical element for us to fight and succeed to liberate ourselves. Unity is the rock upon which the ANC was founded. Critical element. And unity is what will make the ANC and South Africa succeed. Without unity, rest assured, no matter how bright we can be, how brave we can be, how committed we can be, but without unity, it will be difficult to reach the destination. The PGC meets during a critical period when we are going for local government elections. And I will come back to this freedom, because what does it mean? For us to understand the importance of elections, we must understand the importance of freedom. Because if we don't understand the importance of freedom, we can do many things that are not helping us to move forward, including what the chair was referring to here, when he said some other areas, even meetings had to be postponed. That is an indication of our failure to understand freedom and what we need to do as an ANC. We have to go back to basics. Go back to our people, ask them during the elections to renew the mandate of the ANC to lead our people to build a better, or to build better communities, which is a stepping stone to building a better South Africa. We've got to go back, renew our mandate. In other words, not in simple words, vote for us again, take us back to power. That's what we are going to be doing at a local government level. Yes, we still have a good story to tell. But bear in mind, there are people who are bent on 24 hours, 7 days, to turn that story to look like a bad story. And they are more active. And they've been telling a wrong story about South Africa for a long time, to a point that some people might begin to believe they are actually telling the truth. And they are The achievements of our movement and its government are unparalleled. You can look at the history. You can Google if you want. They are unparalleled. No country in this continent within 20 years delivered what we have delivered. I don't think we are able to tell the story in simple sense, simple words, to our people to know this, so that they do not pay attention to negativity that is not saying anything. We have to use occasions like elections to behave like there is something that has happened to this organization as we crisscross the country, reporting to people that in the mandate that they gave us, what is it that we're doing? What is that we've done? Where there have been difficulties? And how are we overcoming the difficulties? Millions of our people now have water they did not have, electricity they did not have, affordable and also free health care in public hospitals. There is more that we have done. There are more children today than ever before who are at school at all levels. Many of them are already receiving free education below tertiary level. Even at the tertiary level, we have started. The struggle that we must bring free education is actually coming when we are giving it. We are in the process of giving it. As I was saying today in another public meeting, that there is nothing that you can do overnight, particularly if we are fixing the damage of centuries, unless you are a magician. But if you're a human being, you can't. We have built beautiful state-of-the-art schools in many communities. We have done everything you can think of. Freedom is precious. Because freedom has created that possibility which did not exist before. Do we understand freedom? What is freedom? Ukhona ungangixelela. Ukhona ungangitshela yini freedom? What is freedom? Freedom is what's the short one? Because there is a way to understand freedom in generalities. Just freedom. Because if you understand it in generalities, you might think we have achieved freedom, and therefore, harass, speaking. Sisayikhuluma politics. I-freedom yini? Why ungangisiza? Not. The secretary did not. But it's part of it. It's part of it. Because, comrades, if we don't understand these things clearly, we are bound to behave like ordinary citizens, not members of the ANC. At times, even fight among ourselves. That in itself is an indication that our understanding of freedom is limited. And therefore, even when we go for elections, we just go casually. Elections, you can liken it to a war. We are going for war. And if you go for war, you must deal with your enemy decisively. It means our duty, and I'm happy the chair reported a good progress. Our duty is to ensure that all those who are eligible for voting must register as a starting point to defeat your enemy. In other words, you must be able to say, I've got all what it takes to win the war. And one of them is to register your voters, your supporters in particular. There is a belief in the ANC that when it is said the ANC votes have gone down, it's not because they've changed to vote for somebody else. It's because they did not go to vote. Either because they are not being kept politically clear what we are doing. Their understanding and support is no longer sharp because we are not there with them to ensure that they understand that the struggle continues, a luta continues. It does not come to an end when you have freedom, when you vote. Freedom means we must achieve all the things that will make South Africans to say, yes, we have arrived to prosperity. Then you can say freedom has been completed. Because you can't tell me if I still have no house that I'm free. In reality, if I don't have a job, you can't be saying to me I'm free. Freedom is not yet complete. If my rights are still undermined by others in whatever way, you can't say I'm free. You can't say my freedom is complete. We are in the process to work hard to complete freedom so that we can say we are now free. And I will indicate what are other issues that face us, that we cannot close our eyes on. People died for freedom, not just to vote only and keep on having no house to stay in the informal settlements forever. Yes, we are working very hard to complete freedom. But there are issues we need to deal with if we are to complete freedom. Firstly, our understanding must be very clear. We must be as committed as we were during the struggle to reach the finality. We must be as united as we were when we were in the trenches. Once we are not united, we've got petty squabbles. It means we don't understand the meaning, full meaning of freedom. If your comrade tends to be a comrade in jail, akusena lo comrade enizofanayo. comrade kodwa ngimthandi. You are helping your enemy to weaken you as we have helped to weaken the ANC in the process. What we are having as instruments to achieve full freedom, we abuse it. I made something, I made the president, and I play around with it. I don't understand. I made a councillor. My understanding is totally bizarre. I understand it as an employment. Yes. And is an instrument for the ANC to achieve the full freedom. I take it as my own benefit. I'm prepared to die if I'm not a councillor. Yes. Lack of understanding of full freedom. That's a problem we have. Instead of discussing how to move forward, we discuss what is the position of Gauteng for 2017. What is the position of Free State for 2017? We spend time and energy when we've got instruments to take South Africa forward. And it says to me, our understanding of freedom is not complete. Because if we understand it, every day we must work for ANC to be united and deal with programs of the ANC as they are supposed to be dealt with, not introduce new tendencies. Freedom, that Puma says many went to prison for, and many died, and we know it better. Perhaps during the time of President Zuma, very few people had died than the ones who died thereafter for freedom. Do we understand what is power? Power. Power, which goes together with freedom. Power. At times I have an impression we don't understand it. And that's why we get into problems that are not supposed to be problems. People who understand power, they don't play around with power. My feeling is that at some point we do play around with power. Maybe we don't understand what power means. The elections that we are talking about are in fact, in the modern democratic society, an instrument for power. Instrument for power. I can tell you, if you don't understand power, you will lose it. You will lose power because you don't understand it. For an example, when we started going for election, the percentage of the ANC was very high. And people have been saying it is going down. That means our power is getting down. Now, if you win elections with a small margin, it means your power is very small that you hold. Very little. That's what it means. You can't do much with it. You can only do so little. But if you win elections with a huge majority, big power, that's what it means. You can do much more things with that power. You can even change the laws that are an impediment. Because you have the power. You can change even clauses in some fundamental law that may not be helping you to go forward. One of the issues that we have that's going to make us find it difficult to complete freedom is the land question. The land question. And I can tell you, I'm not shy about this issue. We've got to re-look into that question. 1913, when colonization was being consolidated, the land that had been stolen was being consolidated, legalized. And we believe that's when land was taken away from us. And therefore, land claim must end in 1913. Let us read the history of this country. Let us read the history. What happened in 1800? When did poverty come around? When Sol Plaatje wrote a statement when the act was being passed, that we suddenly woke up without anything, he was merely expressing the fact that legally we now had nothing, but it had been taken before. 1800 is the time that big chunks of this land, of this country was taken. And we are not touching it with land claim. If we understand freedom, we'll know what we need to do about the land issue. Not do wrong things that are done by other people, properly, within the law, within the constitution. If it means amending the law, yes, yes, what we need, big power to do so. Not so. I'm emphasizing the point that elections are an important thing. My view is that when we go for the elections on the 3rd of August, we must be like the army that does not sleep. We must be in every part of the country. We must use every car we have and petrol to ensure that voters reach the destination. Like a military plan. That's what we must do. I still have to see the plan because I asked those who are doing elections, I want to see the plan. The plan. Which is going to say you are in every part of the country. Who are there? Who are in charge? Where are they reporting during the time? You are campaigning. Military plan. You can't defeat the enemy in military terms. You have to defeat the enemy before it fights. Because you must have your plans, it must be superior. In military terms, you must have your weapon superior to the enemy. The plan thorough to the enemy. More intelligence, more everything. That's what you need in the elections. That's what we need. Some of the parties, by the way, who have been said they are growing while the rate is going down, it's because they are smaller. And no, true, they are able to concentrate their activities to ensure that every person who votes for them votes. Nothing more. People people who don't like those parties will never vote for them. People love the ANC. We are lazy to make the ANC go there. We are like a soldier with all the material, guns and ammunition, but don't shoot. The enemy with fear guns kills more people. When we've got everything, you kill very few. Elections are a critical point. Comrades, we must not take it lying down. Every voter that is ANC supports the ANC. Besides influencing and swaying them, those that are already ANC, let us make it a point that they all vote for the ANC. That is the duty of each and every ANC member. It's not the duty of those who are doing election work. As an ANC member, you have a duty to organize people. You have a duty to make everybody vote on that day. We'll declare holiday. So don't say I was at work. You must be there in the field. And I've said there must be a way of reporting. In every ward, there must be somebody in charge to whom the reports are given. Where is so and so? What is so and so doing? Very crucial. If you understand power, so that you have a big power to do big things. Small power, you do little things, small things. That's it. It's as simple as that. Now, comrades, you must, I think, must enlarge or deepen our understanding about power. Here I was dealing with power insofar as the voting is concerned. Voting is an instrument of power. If therefore we are not active, we are not getting the maximum, you are actually saying you must have small power and do very small things. A party that wins elections then forms a government. It runs a state. The state, related to power, has three legs on which it stands. Political power, economic power, security power. Nothing else. If you talk about other things, there are auxiliaries of these three. The political power, that's what I'm talking about. You must have the political power, because your political power must help you to get the economic power and the security power. If you have only political power, as we do, well, that's what we have. We don't have the economic power. Those who are running economic power, they will run it. Don't run it. I'm not talking about the state capture. That's no, because I must help you. I must help you. Because that term is wrong. We don't understand what is state, what is a state. We talk about state capture. You don't understand. Is judiciary captured? Huh? Is it captured? By who? By who? Is parliament captured? Huh? What composes the states are three arms. It is the executive, it is the judiciary, it is the legislature. That is the state. If you say state capture, what do you mean? Are all these captured? You are misleading people. We are talking about small issues and make them big issues. We are merely using phrases. We are using what people call, if they want to say things to the media, by sound bites. Like all these political parties you have, they've got no policy, nothing, only sound bites. All of them, sound bites. State capture, you can't play around with those words as we do. It's meaningless if you say so. Without meaning the state, you don't understand what is the state. Even the capture. We are complaining today that the judiciary is not very friendly to us. It's friendly to who? Yes, the opposition captured the judiciary. Huh? That explained it properly. I was just stopping that heckling about state capture. I know politicians love it. The state capture. The state capture. What does it mean? What is a state? No, let me continue. I was just dealing with this point. Because you can indoctrinate people on wrong things that are half clear, meaningful. Half-baked, yeah. Half-baked. Now, if the power of politics, you are not using it to take the power, the economic power of the country, you are still in trouble. You are likely to be called and told what to do, what not to do. Therefore, the issue of the economy is a critical one. In other words, if you get the power, the big power, what do you do with it? That is the question. Do you sit with it until it wanes? Or do you use it to get the economic power? You know, we are the only country in the world that the majority do not control the economy. Whether we are in China, the Chinese are controlling it. Whether in India, the Indians are controlling it. The British control it. Everybody else. The majority control. We are not yet. We are not. Even what we are trying to do to catch up, black economic empowerment, we are still about 3% in the stock exchange. Because we failed to use the political power. Because our understanding of power is not complete. Even now, we are Let me make the other point of the three layers of the security power. We don't have the security of this country in reality because we don't understand what a state is. We don't understand the power. What did we do with the security companies, for an example? There are two elements to security companies. There's a commercial side and the security side. What did we do? We promoted the commercial side, sold or allowed people from outside to own security organizations. We don't have the security. You know what they have? They have everything you can think of, including intelligence. At times more advanced intelligence. And therefore allowed us to be open to other intelligence in the world. Because it is easy to come in as a security owner, whatever, and you put all the security apparatus and infrastructure that report back to your country. We don't have it. We are not using the political power to control our country security-wise. Now, if we don't understand all these things, we'll take very lightly the question of elections. We need to win elections with a big majority so that we can address this problem. That's what we must have in mind. We need to win elections in a big way, landslide, so that we can use that power, which is the starting point, clearly how to gain economic power. Leg number 2, how to gain the security power. Leg number 3. Then you can say you are in charge. I will tell you a story, a practical experience of myself. One day, and I can't stand here when I do things and say, hey, Sengenza ukuthi njalo. I do things because I understand things deeply. I take a decision following a decision taken by the leadership at the finance ministry. And I find a comrade well trained in finance and economy, cadre of eNCA. I'm just telling you because you don't know. I deploy him in the finance ministry. You know, almost twice with because I touched the raw nerve. The raw nerve, because that place controls the heart of the economy, finance. I'm taking somebody who understands what to do. Wangakhala nje abathile wakhala thina qolo. Ama comrades don't agree with this decision. No, there was no consultation. There's never been a consultation about appointing a minister. Dabona ukuthi Africa my beginning, Africa my end. Siyahlupheka sisesive ngoba asifuni ngisho sesiphethe ipower iyasesida sazonzana ngayo and indeed there was a demand to reverse that decision from the real powers that be, and we had to reverse the decision. That in Buga ngalananga la kusekho umuntu eduze kwakho. And this guy going to take 2 steps backward, take 3. I'm just giving a practical example. How much with power in your hands, you don't see, you don't know what you need to do. Therefore, you don't understand freedom and power. These two go together. But elections are an important thermometer to indicate whether you have power or not. The wrong people, one day, if we operate the way we do, will take power. And I've said so to the leadership. Who says somebody now start to imagine jealousy. Forget that. So Peli, comrade, say comrade in Nkandla. I said comrade J. So comrade, the point I'm trying to make that as we begin this election, we must be as clear as anything what we want to achieve. It is only when we are clear, particularly here in Gauteng, as I said, Gauteng is the face of the ruling party. It's the face of the country. You can't have a situation where there are parties who are threatening to take some metros, and we are not even sure whether that could happen. That's why I was so happy with the decision to go to the big stadium, because we must show people as one of one clarity. Everyone about Papa. We must win and win with a big majority, Gauteng in particular. We are going to spend more time, all of us here, because you can't be defeated at the headquarters, nor undermined at your headquarters. Headquarters must be defended at all costs. That's the point. So we must defend Gauteng. We must defend Gauteng at all costs. Here, we will live or die in Gauteng. This is our headquarters of the ANC the ruling party. It's the heart of the economy of the country. How could we leave that to people who don't even know what they are doing? Yes, yes. Opposition parties. What have they to say? Whether during the elections or in parliament, there is nothing they say. They have resorted to anger and insults. Nothing. Because they've got nothing to say. They can't challenge our policies and programs. So why could we be defeated by people who don't know what they're saying? Others are making big noise. They even, because they don't even know what a gun looks like, talk about guns. You know? Just trying to intimidate people for sweet nothing. The chair was correct. Let us not be provoked. Let us do our work among our people. Because you know, if you are provoked, you do something. You know the courts, how the judgment will be. So don't worry. Let us do our work, let us win elections. And Gauteng must be number one in defending our headquarters. Then comrades, if indeed freedom and power hang around elections, how much percentage or numbers you get, then that tells you in the influence. Say, and you must be as clear as anything. Because if you are not clear, you might not do the right thing. We need to do the right thing. Convince our people. ANC is the future. ANC brought freedom, and ANC will finally deliver a complete freedom to everyone, prosperous South Africa. And therefore, no reason not to vote ANC as a South African. And we must make it a point every voter votes. Are we agreed? Agreed. Are we angry for winning? Are we really serious about winning? Can we say what we are going to deliver in terms of the percentage here? Is it possible for us to say? At least? At the end of the PGC? say you would tell me at the end of the PGC. Wonderful. I'm happy. We need big power. Absolutely. Well, comrades, thank you very much. I thought to this NGC, I must deal with these matters because I have a feeling our understanding is not at the same level and it needs to be at the same level. Let us simplify our task, but let us be one, let us be united. As the ANC, as the Alliance, all of us, to get the big power. The big power. Big power. Amanda! Away, two. Oh, in the oh, in
Mheshimiwa